What's up? What's happening, everybody? Uh, K-Mega 405 coming live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there, man. What is happening? What's going on? You guys know when I'm about to talk about something, if I'm going to do one of these My Thought videos, obviously it's got to be some big news, rumors, or it's just something that I'm excited about or not excited about, but whatever the case may be. Um, this is wild. This is definitely wild. Maybe not too wild for everybody, but this is pretty wild to me. I'm over here trying to mess with this. What you call it right here? Try to get this going. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Make sure I'm sending. Okay, I sound fine. Okay, from one standpoint. All right, here we go. Uh, First, before I get into the Xbox thing, I do want to talk about, and it's really brief, is about replaced. Um, I don't want to hear about it until it comes out. Listen. I'm glad that the game is going to eventually come, but this is like the sixth, seventh time that we've heard about the game coming out, and it get delayed. I mean, all hype and expectations for the game is dead for me. Like, I mean, listen, I get one, two, maybe even three delays, but when you're talking about as many delays as replaced has been, it's supposed to come out multiple times before all these years, right? And I understand that it's going to be um, a marvel for what for an indie game, and it looks great, right? But I've been wanting to get my hands on it to play it and experience it for a few years now, and it's kind of just at this point like another delay. I, I don't care now at this point. I mean, when it drops, I'll play it, and hopefully that it lives up to expectation. Because if it doesn't, then you not only wasted my time and expectation for being excited for the game, but then you also wasted my time to play this game, and it wasn't popping. So again, okay. So forget about that. But listen, I just whenever the game drops, drop it. I'm tired of seeing. Well, we have to make this decision. Listen, I'm through with it. I'm through with it at that point. This is too many goddamn delays for that game. You know what I'm saying? I do hope that it comes, but gee whiz. Uh, yeah, no. Stalker 2 didn't go through nowhere near the same type of delays, and the circumstances is different. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I'm saying? The circumstances is different for PUBG. I mean, for Stalker 2. Like, I mean, the game has had its delays, but it's nowhere near the same. I mean, these people are at war. So, and you know, and I mean, and I don't, I, and listen, the game was slated to come out back in what, 2019? So no. It's not the same as Stalker 2. Not at all. I'm not going to let you have that one. So here we go. That's all I had to say about that. Like, I mean, when you drop the game, cool. I'm excited when the game releases, and at that point, we'll see what it feels like when I get to play it. But other than that, right now, I'm not worried about that. I just wanted to make that point. Now, let's get to it. What you mean? What am I doing up this early? You know what? My sleeping patterns has been completely just all jacked up and crazy since I've started to go back. I'm starting to get my schedule back again, and so I've been starting going back to the gym, started getting back into the rhythm, and so like my sleeping patterns has been all over the place. So here we're in this. I've been going to bed early actually, and I've been waking up really extra early. So yeah, I've been up since what 5 o'clock this morning. So schedules is all messed up. And since I take one day off, one day on to the gym, and then try to build myself back, because of my injuries that I'm going to always have for the rest of my life. I just want to take it slow, getting back into form, and then I could go to the gym multiple times. And because when I go to the gym, I don't be playing. You know what I'm saying? I get in. So yesterday, I hit weights really hard, maybe a little bit too hard, and then did my hour of on the treadmill. Well, no, I didn't do an hour on the treadmill this time. I did 51 minutes. I did 51 minutes, and then I started feeling the back started tightening up. So I was like, okay. And so like my physical therapy people tell me, yo, once you feel that, stop it, let it go. And so I was like, all right, let me stop. And then Went back, did a little bit more weights, and then I was done for the day. And then I passed the hell out when I got home. Got up, then passed out again early, and then that was it. And then I caught myself waking up at like 4 something in the morning. So yeah, my sleeping patterns is all jacked up. But anyway, that's not what we're here. We're here for yeah. No. I mean, since the schedules has changed and GRG and everything, like I'm getting reacclimated and back into what I was doing beforehand before I started doing the crossover and everything else. Like I'm all focused and getting back to where I was last year, and especially like for the watching over my mom and things like that. Everything just got shifted and changed, so I got to get back on that. Plus, I got to get my vacation body right for in December. You know what I'm saying? Like, and oh, Yobi, check this out. I know I'm over here rambling. Yobi, I'm going to be in Tampa. I'm going to be in Tampa here in October. My cousin, he's getting married out there. He stays out there in Tampa, and so I'm going to be out there in Tampa. So hopefully we can get to meet up. You know what I'm saying? While I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but other than that, let's get to this. Um, okay. All right. Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. I am not okay. Let's first talk about this rumor and the rumor about Forza Horizon 5 uh, being announced to go on PlayStation 5 next week. And I'm assuming during Gamescom, right? And so no, I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. That makes me very, 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 very um, not pleased um, for a number of reasons. And so I'm going to break this down. So it's not just going to be here. I'm going to, I'm not a doom and gloomer, right? So let's not get this. But I will going to. But if there's things that I'm not going to like, I'm going to just say it, right? So for one, the messaging would be completely ridiculous if Forza um, goes over to PlayStation. Then by any stretch of imagination that anybody would think that it would still be a case by case basis would be a damn fool. Let's just be real, because everything's on the docket then. You're talking about one of your highest rated, your best racers that's better than Gran Turismo by leaps and bounds. Anything that Gran Turismo has made since the PlayStation 4 has not been comparable or on the same level. Don't let the stands, don't let the media, don't let anybody tell you any lie. Forza has been the best racing sim and the best racing arcade games out. Nothing touches them. Nothing. And then out of all of that, out of all the Forzas that's been available, the reality of it is the GOAT right now. Now, see, this is the little debate. This is debate. Five is a juggernaut, right? Five is juggernaut. It has over 40 some million players as we speak. Like, it's just nuts how many people play Forza. Forza Horizon 5. But some people would say that Forza Horizon 3 is the GOAT. Is the GOAT of all Forzas. Forza Motorsport, Forza, it's just the GOAT. And I'm in that class of saying Forza 3 is the GOAT of all of them, right? Like Forza 3 was just in Australia was absolutely incredible. 5 is probably second. But I do have a partial place in my heart for um, I do have a partial place in my heart for the first game and for the second one because I did every race possible to man, and I was in the very few to get those achievements for Forza Horizon 2. But regardless of that, right? Like it regardless of all that, if that game does, which I will explain here in a minute why I think differently of that. But if this rumor is true, and if Forza Horizon 5 goes over to PlayStation, then all bets are off. Nothing that Xbox staff has said to us about a case-by-case basis would make any sense when you would bring a premier title over to PlayStation like that. That's just, I mean, we're talking about the equivalent of, I mean, yeah, GT coming over to Xbox, right? Like, I mean, what I'm saying? I mean, GT is the grandfather of these simulated racers, right? It is a pristine, fantastic racer. It's just that Forza is caught up with it and surpassed it, in my opinion. I know that there'll be some people that will debate that, but I just don't see how there's a debate when there's more people playing Forza than they're playing GT. That's just a fact. The reality also is to this is that um, if they do that, then the Project Latitude thing, yeah. I mean, here we are. Here we are. And I don't have, I don't, and for me, this is my thing. I'm not going anywhere. I've already stated that. Like, Xbox can go full thought and just say everything's for sale. What I'm saying, just come and get it for the cheapest price possible. Here you go. But I'm already invested into Xbox. I have the majority of my games, the ecosystem that I like to play on Xbox. I'm all in on Xbox. And if they made this decision to put a game like that over to PlayStation, then again, all bets are off when it comes to the sustainability of the console. And that adds another factor to it, right? So, you know, I'm one of these people here that, look, I enjoy the consoles. I love consoles, right? And so, when people say that doing this, making this move degrades Xbox, there's a there's a two-part play to that, right? Like, a two-part position. One, no. For people who are already invested in Xbox, it does not degrade the Xbox. If you know when the next consoles come out and you're getting an Xbox day one, how is that a degrade to you? Like, that's that right there. That's my stance. Doesn't matter, as long as they keep making Xbox consoles, I'm still going to buy one. That's just where I'm at. That's where millions, tens of millions of people are at, right? So it doesn't degrade the console in that aspect. But where it does degrade the console is for the people who look at Xbox as a secondary console, or have been on the fence and been wanting to maybe play on an Xbox because of a game like Forza Horizon 5. Maybe they've just been slow playing, and then now all of a sudden you hear all of these PlayStation fans get out here and be excited for the fact that they could be playing Forza on their console. For that person, like, oh my God, that game was that good. Well, damn, thank God I ain't got to buy an Xbox. That's to those gamers. That's when the Xbox is degraded for those people, not for us who's already locked in. You know what I mean? Like, we're all locked in. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to go anywhere. But it's those people that may think that they want to go. I mean, that they might want to have a secondary console, and Xbox is providing enough heat while PlayStation isn't dropping anything right now except for a few tidbits here and there, right? And Nintendo is doing what Nintendo does. Xbox will look more attractive going forward, especially when you have the Series S, or even going into the next generation, right? Like, if the rumors are true about what Xbox is doing, well, having they'll still have a console, but then they'll have this handheld component that will be an extra that will be an extra thing that you can purchase, or if it's what the original rumors were, where it's a hybrid docked whatever kind of Switch-esque type of device. Whatever the case may be, it will degrade the console for the people who has always been on the fence about Xbox, right? And there's always going to be people that will not buy an Xbox just because of the name, just because of maybe the Xbox fan base, maybe because they just don't like the fact the way Phil Spencer kicks ass, and they look at Sarah Bond and they wish Sarah Bond would be over there on PlayStation, because PlayStation don't represent anybody of color over there on their staff. I'm just being real about it. Okay, let's just be real. And so that's the whole thing, right? That's it. But who knows? Who knows why they don't, right? It can't be because Xbox doesn't have the games, because they're over here port begging. The PlayStation fan base, especially the stands, are port begging. They are desperate for content. But if Xbox does this, brings this game out here, then there's nothing else to discuss. Xbox is for the Xbox is thought. I mean, it's for the streets, and then it comes to the money hats is one, and that's it. That's it. Is it over for Xbox? Absolutely not. But it does say something about where the direction of the consoles, which I've always been saying that Xbox will most likely be the first ones to bow out and say that, hey, look, Sony, you won. You won the console war. Whoop-de-doo. Now, another thing that makes this a positive for Xbox, if that's where you want to lean it at, and it's something that will make me right, is that Xbox is going for it, right? Like they're going for to be the market leader. Like they're just saying, hell, we'll just put it. You don't have to come to us. We'll come to you. And once you see what we have to offer, what our Xbox gamers has been happy about and has been excited about, you're gonna be a part of the family too. You'll just be playing it on a different device. Now that sounds gross as hell to me as a person who just is still not getting used to this. I've seen the pattern, right? And we've all seen the pattern. Some people it's been really difficult to. I mean, it's taking it really difficult, and some people are taking it extra negative. Look, this is business. This is just what it is, right? If this is the approach that they're going to take, but this is also for the move for the people who likes to look at the money, talk about the aspect of Xbox being the market leader and engagement and all that stuff. Xbox is going to knock it out the park, especially with a game like that. And it also will put Sony in a position to where if Xbox keeps putting out, because then this is no question that this is happening. If Forza goes over there to PlayStation, then the Master Chief Collection is definitely coming up there. Because remember, that was rumored as well in the whole Latitude thing. So then you got and then all bets are off. Like, I mean, Starfield, Hellblade, hell, Indiana Jones, everything is up. The Gears, all that, everything, and then Xbox staff looks like a fool because they just told us, it's a case-by-case basis. If you put Forza out there, then it's beyond a case-by-case basis. I mean, let's just be honest. You can't say we're bringing in one of our stapled games, one of our biggest bets, one of our best-rated titles, and put it in on a competitive platform, and then we're going to sit there and say we're still going to do it by a case-by-case basis. I can't buy it. I won't, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you can fraud the public, but you ain't frauding me. I know exactly what the hell that would mean. If, then again, this is still a rumor. This is not legit. This is not legit. I have other things that I want to get into after I get done ranting about this, right? Regarding this whole situation. But I just think that to me, it makes me cringe. I don't like it. I would think that it would be a huge mistake, because then what you're doing, you do have an Xbox loyal fan base, and that just shuts down morale. Like, you know what I'm saying? That just shuts down morale, and I don't think that anybody out here that just shuts down morale. And again, we'll have these people, whatever the game that they announce, then there will be those there. I'm done with Xbox. I'm going to PC. Blah 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 blah. Okay, bye. You know what I'm saying? It's not. We've heard this for how many years now? This generation, Jesus! Like, y'all stayed on point when Xbox was at its lowest point in 2017, 2018. But then yet when Xbox is popping, y'all out. Like, that don't make any sense to me. None. That don't make no damn sense to me whatsoever. But the reality of it is that I understand the feeling of, like, well, damn, I've been fighting a good fight for all these years, and this is how it's done for us. This is how it is. And again, Xbox has been saying that they don't want to do the console war. The console war is stupid, which it is. It's a stupid discussion. It's fun at times, but it's gotten really stale now lately. Here for the last I would say after E3 or after the Xbox event, after Xbox just murdered everything out there in a sense of showing competition, just decimating the competition by having one of the best shows of all time, um, decimated everything, then the console war just became kind of irrelevant. Like, because I mean that what games is PlayStation out here trying to solicit that's even comparable with what Xbox is showing? Then on the flip side, if Xbox is giving up all these games, then what's the whole point of having conversations talking about Xbox is how Xbox is this and that and the third, but then yet, you're over here you're begging for their games, and then you're excited about it, and then you want to sit there and throw shade about playing Xbox games when you say Xbox games are mid. So console war is dead. Console war is already looking stale as it is. But this in the media, you're cooked. You hope to God that Xbox is not making this move. You hope to God, because then what you have to do, Xbox is forcing your hand to, okay, since you won't rate our games that some even knows that are better than some of the PlayStation games that's been put out, right? And you know that they're better, but you refuse to rate them higher or rate them reasonably. So when those games do come, like a hi-firush, you got to pay the piper. You have to submit to your rulers, which everybody knows that you compliant to Sony. Everybody knows that the media is on the take. Everybody that has common sense knows that the media is on the take. There's very few that's not on the take. But majority of them are on the take, and so then you have to just think about what the rate. I guarantee you that there'll be hundreds from if Forza 5, an old game, comes to PlayStation, that game will get a higher rating than what it did, and it'll get more acclaim. We know it. They have to do it. They have to do it. They have to, and they will. But to revert back to Xbox strategy with this, it goes back to the thing that I've been saying, that Xbox is going forward and they'll definitely be the market leader if they do this, because everything is on the table. They're just giving it all up. And the reality of it is that Xbox channels, what are y'all going to do? Because I'm an Xbox channel, but I stream. I haven't done anything here a little bit in a while, here in about almost a month or so. But, but that's coming. And so, as a matter of fact, I'll be doing Fight Night tonight. So check me out. But when you sit here and you talk about Xbox in a positive light, and we all have had this expectation of Xbox holding firm and holding strong and not giving in to the bull, you can't really do it anymore. Because it's over. The whole aspect of Xbox putting out their big title, their biggest titles over to competition, it just doesn't hit right. It doesn't hit the same when you sit here and you're telling people, like, you know what, we have Gears, Halo, Forza, and PlayStation doesn't, and they wish that they had those games. Oh, damn, they do. Oh, damn, Indy's going to go there. Stalker 2 is going to go there. Avowed will most likely go there. Hellblade 2 will be going over there. Hell, if you're putting out the Oblivion when that game drops, Doom, Diablo is already there. The list will continue to go on if this game is going over there, because the whole thing about case by case basis is over. Now, let me read some of these comments here in this chat. You said Tampa all right, but it ain't all that. I don't know. I hear some beef out there with the Tampa thing. Listen, I just know my cousin live out there in Tampa. I've never been to Florida, but we going up there. Got the invite to go to my cousin's wedding out there. So I'm just gonna go out there and support. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm not just get ate by no gator or running into anybody with bath salt, eating some bath salt or some shit. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect out there. But you know what I'm saying? I will definitely be checking out the beach. Yes. Yeah. Jax82 says perception could be Xbox giving PlayStation everything while getting nothing in return. That's another point to this that I'm looking at. That's pretty. That's going to be. That's a big question mark, right? Because this is the thing, and you know, because my part where I'm going to be where I'm going to be objective and I'm going to be on the positive side of it is coming. Okay, so um, but this part right here, what you're just saying, this is why I get pissed off about the media, and this is why the gaming media just doesn't. It just doesn't make sense to me. I I read articles and stuff just because I want to get the gaming information and news. But I mean, it almost it makes me want to puke sometimes because these guys are most of them are walking hypocrites. They were all in here trying to be holier than thou about the Insomniac leaks, and then people like Tom Warren and others leaking out information about the Valve game. I'm hearing that he got in trouble for it. Um, you know, and I understand that these people want to try to bring out the news, and you know, want to bring out the news that they can, but then they get all hush hush about the Bungie negotiations, and then they come out with this BS. It's a rumor. It's a rumor, and I understand that this is kind of like because the gaming news has been very dry here lately. Um, but I mean, this is the time for where journalists and even freelance journalists or freelancers um, can sit here and try to bring shit that's positive, talk about some things here. And I've seen them post a couple of things here and there, but this is the stuff that they get all riled up and get into full detail about. Like they don't get in here and start talking about like I've seen Tom Warren bring up the stuff about which I'm very excited about the new look of the Xbox game bar, which I use all the time, especially when I'm recording some gameplay from on my PC or anything like that. I mean, the NVIDIA thing, it works pretty good, but for some reason it's been acting up here lately. So I've gone back and started using the game bar, and it's just really reliable. Well, the whole new layout that they're bringing, it looks fantastic. So I've seen the article about that, but why is there not a deeper dive into that? Why is there not deeper dives about upcoming games that's going to be coming? I mean, we get a few of them for bigger titles, but what about the lesser known titles that's out there, right? Like, I mean, the Gundam game that's coming out here, that's not going to be a groundbreaking game seller, but that game looks dope. How about we get a little bit of that? That's where I talk about the old gaming way journalism used to be, is that they would talk about all types of games, didn't matter. But if it's not a big AAA banger, or if it's not some bullshit rumor, they don't put enough emphasis into the stuff. And I you know, I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. But I mean, I've been seeing it for too many years, is that they care more about rumors, and then they'll leak out whatever that they want to about Xbox, but then they keep hush hush about Sony, and they damn sure don't say anything about Nintendo. You know, they'll give a rumor here, a rumor there, but it's very, very, very light. So, you know, and then they do these things at a time when Xbox has something going on. Case in point, when the whole Latitude stuff started dropping, Hellblade 2 was just around the corner. The year before that, there was more rumors about something. I forgot. There's so many damn rumors that goes around that people get pissed off about Xbox about. That it was right before Redfall, and then of course Redfall was a dud. So therefore, it was, you know what I'm saying, not a bad game. It just was broken as hell, and it shouldn't have been released. It shouldn't have been released at the time. It should have cooked in the oven. Hell, maybe for another year. To be honest. But regardless, they do this. And so now here comes Gamescom. Xbox is up in front and is bringing out the most content ever than they've ever shown at Gamescom, and then this shit drops. I mean, you can't beat this stuff, man. You can't. You can't. And this it annoys the hell out of me. And of course, There's people that's going to feed into it, the so-called neutrals. They're going to act it up, and then you got the people that's all about the doom and gloom. It's gotten more frequent. Hell, it used to be every 8 to 9 months that there would be some Xbox gamers or so-called neutrals or whatever the hell they want to be called, that they would get mad and they talk about they're getting rid of their Xbox or they're going to PC. Now it's like every 2 months. Like it's crazy, and it's all because of the journalists, because they know that this is the stuff that gets some Xbox gamers riled up. And at this point, when I see it, I'm like, yeah, this sucks. I don't like this. But as long as my Xbox keeps cutting on, I'm cool. So now let me read a couple of comments, and then I'm going to get to the other side of this. You know what I'm saying? Legendary Yobi! He says, our ecosystem on the Xbox is too huge. We bought too many games to just leave the ecosystem. It's a waste of funds. Absolutely. Richilling, he said, Xbox shouldn't release games in other consoles while there are still so many exclusivities or exclusives not on Xbox, exclusives not on Xbox on the market. Jax, he says, I will still play on Xbox regardless of the moves that they make, whether good or bad. Sir X-Man, he said something foul, but he erased it, so I don't know what he said. Here we go. He says, Sir X-Man said, correction, Forza Horizon 5 was made by Playground Games. So does that mean that they're going to have Fable on PlayStation in the future? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you put that game out there, then you cannot sit here and come back and have Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and Matt Booty come up there on stage on any stage, or sit there and come and tell us yet again it's a case by case basis, because it just wouldn't make sense. It don't make sense. Now here we go. Going to get on to the positive side of this. If some people might think it might be positive, right? Okay, so I don't think that Forza Horizon 5 is going to be the game that's going to be announced to come over there. This is one reason, and I don't think anybody's been. I don't pay attention to a lot of things. I mean, I'll read the stuff that's out there in the wind or anything like that, but I don't be picking this up from other people. I'm just come off of this. Because I wanted to do a video last night, but like I said, I went to bed early, so I was just like, oh, I'll do it in the morning when I get up, or stream whatever. And so, but I had this thought, like, this is the reason why I don't think that this game that is going to be Forza Horizon 5. I could be absolutely wrong, but this is the reason. So Forza Horizon 5 came out in 2021. Okay. Every Forza gets delisted between 4 to 6 years. So you're already approaching the fourth year. You're already approaching the fourth year in November. So, and the game won't be released until sometime in 2025. I mean, unless they rush that puppy out, and that thing would be out this year on PlayStation, which that means that they've been working on this deal for a minute, like to make the port for PlayStation for at least a year. So that means, damn. So, you know what I'm saying? But let's just assume that they're going to drop that game in 2025, if this rumor is true, right? Well, then that game is only going to be available for what? A year? 2 at max? And then it's delisted. So then it comes to the point of where, okay, so is Xbox going to have this strategy of like, well, we'll wait to put our games out there towards the end, so, to get extra income, kind of like what PlayStation is doing with PC games, like what they did in the beginning, like when they put, PC gamers had to wait for God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, and Days Gone and other games. And Ghost of Tsushima like 4 or 5 years before, and Spider-Man and stuff like that, 4 or 5 years out. Now it's getting closer because Ragnarok has only been out for what, 2 years? Or a year and a half or whatever. It'll be 2 years. It's been 2 years or it's a year and a half, something like that, when Ragnarok came out. So the gap is getting closer with PlayStation. But if Xbox is making that approach, then that game is going to get delisted. They're not going to hold on to the licenses for the cars and for the music just to appease PlayStation, unless PlayStation said that they're going to take the tab and they'll expand whatever. And to me, PlayStation is not here to want to give Xbox anything. So therefore, I think that it's not Forza Horizon 5. I just don't think it. I don't think it is. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going anywhere. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just shutting down GRG podcast. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 more episodes left. We have an episode coming at the end of the month on the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd or the 30th. One of the other. I can't remember. We'll have to sit. It's the 23rd or the 30th, and then we'll have our last GRG podcast show at a podcast after the VGAs. So yeah, and after that, I'm done, and no, there's no coming back to that, and I'm not joining anybody else's podcast or anything like that. I'm done with all that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a guest, and I'll be a guest on some podcasts or something like that if I have the time. And matter of fact, I will be doing. This weekend, I'll be on my brother's PTK Blam, which I haven't been on Blam's podcast in years. So when brother did the call, they gave me the bad signal. I was like, yeah, I'm with it. And then Web Dave Sunday. So I'll be doing those 2 podcasts or whatever. And then I'm chill for a little bit. But yeah, no, I do think that when the whole situation is put in our face, I don't know. The game could be Starfield, because that was the original game that everybody was talking about. It could be Starfield. It would make sense because the rumors of well, not the rumors, but the new expansion is going to be dropping, and they can announce it at Gamescom, and then it could be available in 2025 or at the end of the year, and it'll get a PlayStation port. And yeah, I will be sick as a dog. Yes, I'll be mad as hell. I will be pissed to see Starfield on PlayStation. Just because of the wild, pitiful, just lame disrespect that the stands did for that game, and then to have them have the opportunity to get it, not for the PlayStation fans, because the game is great, but then this is the point where, as I said before, where for new Xbox gamers, for new potential Xbox gamers, you do devalue the Xbox. Xbox gamers like us, it does not devalue, because we will still buy a new console, and we will be burning the midnight oil on that Xbox. You know what I'm saying? That Xbox is going to get put in work. We gonna have that whole trip. We gonna have that whole working. So there ain't nobody tripping about that. It's the new or maybe potential buyers of the console. You do degrade that because you're putting it on another platform, and they don't have to go and get it. So I'm thinking it could be either Hellblade, which I'll be sick as a dog as that, because they disrespected that game, and that game will not sell on PlayStation because, again, it's just what the PlayStation stands do. They talk and they don't buy. They don't support. They lean on everybody else to save and make their best selling game so far to this year, which is Helldivers 2. PC people have saved it. PC gamers have saved it. And then the PlayStation stands will lie their ass off and say that they did something. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. When Helldivers 2 is in those lists, that's PC gamers that's over here that's giving you the saving grace. It's damn sure not you guys. Y'all guys just talk about games. Y'all don't play them. Y'all play games. Y'all play the third parties. Y'all don't play your own. I mean, case in point, why I don't see any Concord gameplay from anybody. I don't see anybody showing me Concord gameplay on Twitter X. Not at all. Yes, I will be on the shop. Tomorrow night. Yeah, I mean Saturday night. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I haven't talked to my brother Blam on a podcast in a minute. So yeah, that should be fun. Anyway, so that part right there, so if there's a positive, if there's a silver lining, a small one, I don't think that Forza Horizon 5 is that game, just because of the fact that game is going to be delisted here in a couple of years. That just don't make any sense, that you want to drop a game that late and knowing that game is going to be delisted unless somebody paid the bill for that game not to be delisted. And then another thing, which, okay, I have to revert back to being negative, is that what the hell is Xbox getting back in return for this? I know what they're getting back in return financially. I know that, but I don't care about the numbers. I care about Xbox preservation and Xbox growth on that aspect because I can continue playing on the Xbox. But I'm not overall. I don't give a damn about the numbers. I want, you know what I'm saying. What is PlayStation giving us? I mean, you give the equivalent of that game. I need a Spider-Man. I need a Helldivers 2. I need something else. I need some heat. I need some PlayStation heat. They don't have too much, but I need some PlayStation heat. They don't have too much this generation. Are we gonna get some Demon Souls? Yeah, I don't care, but I mean something, something. Listen, you make a trade off for Final Fantasy 16, a game I don't give two damns about because of what the director said. If that game comes to Xbox, absolutely fine. I said it. I'm standing on business on it. I'm not spending one dime on that game. Would I play it if it's on Game Pass? I would. But that's as far as I get. Or if it's gifted to me, I'll play it. Other than that, I'm not touching it. I'm not even touching it. And I probably would only just to sample it, just to see what it looks like because the combat looks dope. If it's in Game Pass, and then I just put it up and I keep it pushing, just because I would get sick to my stomach about what that man said with disrespecting history the way that he did. So that's where we at with that. I don't care about that. The games from Square Enix that I want is Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Forspoken. I want those on the Xbox. I don't care about Final Fantasy 16. I know others will, but I don't care about it. And that's not a proper trade-off compared to, that's the lapse of a second party deal that Sony was over here leasing the game to keep it exclusive, and PlayStation ain't coming off of nothing. Hell, they what 3.2 million. Okay, that's great. When they brag about being 60-some million consoles, listen, bro, come on, stop. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Listen, and it'll be less. Yes, it will be less. It will be less. It'll sell less because at that point, the excitement and the hype for that game will be totally diminished. Xbox gamers are tired of being treated as though they're second-class citizens from some of these companies, and there will be some people that says Xbox makes us feel like we're second-class citizens, and I don't agree with that per se, but I can understand it. I can feel them on it. I'm not going to dispute them. I'm just going to say I don't feel that way, but I feel you. You know what I mean? So, I said, so what you saying, Deshaun? You're saying games on separate consoles are going to die. There is no money in the money. There's no money in it. The money is across the board. I totally agree with you. That's why I'm not. That's why the doom and gloom aspect of it, and that's where I was going back to being positive again. Yes, you're right, Yobi. I mean, because I have it on PC, but I ain't even booted it up. You see my gameplay of the First Ascent. College football and First Ascent is all I've been playing. That and like I said, there's plenty of other games that I got that I want to play. I mean, I got Madden 3 days ago, and I booted it up. Looks good, plays pretty good, and I'm like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. This it's college and the First Ascent. That's all I care about right now. So, but yeah, I'll play it. But yeah, I have it on PC. But yeah, if it comes to Xbox and then it got access to more people that wants to play it, then I'm all for it, yo. But yes, of course, I'll play the hell out of it. It's not a bad game. It's a fun game. It's really good. I'm hearing that there's a drop off because there's just not enough content. Like it's hit its wall for the people who's played it, who's maxed out in it. And so they said that the studio said that they were going to work on adding more content, but we know how that goes. That means that they're going to have to wait a while for it. And at that point, that game could be cooked. So there could be a really good chance that Helldivers 2 could be coming on Xbox to give it new life, which it would be smart. Now, on the positive side of this is how I look at it. Okay, so follow me on this, on the way that I'm addressing this, if you can. How I look at how Xbox approach to this, if they are going all in and bringing all of their titles, damn near all of their titles, if not all their titles, over to PlayStation and Nintendo and everywhere else. But I'm just focusing primarily on PlayStation. I'm looking at this as a football play. It's 4th and 5. And if PlayStation gets the first down, it's game over. It's over. Xbox, they get the stop. Then the game turns around. Xbox is down by 3 or down by 7, however you look at it, right? And Xbox is going with a full blitz. And Xbox is going to drop one back. They're going full blitz. They got the 2 corners on the wide receivers, and they're going to drop one back. But they don't know what the play is that PlayStation is going to be doing. And PlayStation knows that if they get this first down, it's over. The console war is already over. But the game will be over. Because at that point, if people feel like they'll just go and buy a PlayStation, and they'll get more excited about the PlayStation ecosystem, and then they just decide that they want to be there, then what? And we're talking about, like, for Xbox gamers who are invested and they're just tired and fed up with it. Most of them say that they're going to PC. Well, that's still dealing with Microsoft, and you're still dealing with Xbox to a degree. So that's null and void. But if they decide to go to PlayStation, if they decide that they're just tired of this and they just love the console more than they do PC and more than Xbox strategy, then it's game over. It's game over. It's just a risky proposition. The money aspect of it isn't, but for the fan base and to keep things where they are, or even have a chance to get up there, then yeah, this is it. This is it, in my opinion, for them on that aspect. And so again, Xbox is sending the blitz, but they're dropping one back. Now, PlayStation throws that damn pass and it goes right into the one that drops back. It's going to the house. And that's what Xbox's strategy is that, look, we're going to take this to the house. In case in point, you're probably saying, what the hell are you talking about, Mega? This is what I'm saying. Xbox put more games out there that's live service, like a Forza Horizon 5. And even though Starfield is not, but if you put a good quality title like Starfield, a good quality title like Hellblade, you put those games, Avowed, and then you put other multiplayer games like the Master Chief Collection on PlayStation. Oh God, that just makes my stomach turn. Oh my God, let me drink my coffee. Good God Almighty. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Man, I'm getting hot in here, man. Lord. Well, I got my door closed because I'm talking kind of loud. My wife is here, and I don't want to get too animated here. And so I'm just, Lord have mercy. This is just making my stomach turn just saying this shit, right? But anyway, but let's say those games come over there, those live services. They already got Sea of Thieves, which is knocking it out the park. Grounded, I'm sure, is doing very well. Minecraft, etc., right? But if you put those Forza Horizon games on there, even if you put Forza Motorsports as well on there, what that does is put PlayStation in a bad spot. And you're going to say, Mega, how the hell is that? Because PlayStation is rocking and rolling. They got everything they need. They forced their biggest competitor, or the competitor that they were the most fearful of, they forced them to turn to a third party. Not so much, my friend. PlayStation is trying to find a way to get live service games. If Xbox is putting their live service games on there and the fans resonate to them, which fans will, because the fact of it is that there's just people that just hates Xbox to that point that they don't want to buy it, but they'll play those games. So they'll sign in to Xbox, right? They'll sign in just to play with their friends and talk shit and have a good time, but they're still playing and investing into the Xbox ecosystem. What does that tell PlayStation? Well, we got to make a game that's it, and it ain't going to hit because Halo's already established. Forza's already established. So then and then the games that seemed like they did have an opportunity to do something, they got canceled. So then the only thing that you have left is Marathon. Are we trusting that? I mean, one of the best in the business that release information is saying that it's in development hell. Now, again, there's been games that's been in development hell, and once they come out, they're good. But PlayStation gamers is not going to wait for Marathon to be delayed or go through issues. And if that game has any issues whatsoever, where do you think that they're going to go? They're going to go right back to where their bread and butter is, which is Call of Duty, owned by Xbox. They'll go back to Overwatch, owned by Xbox. They'll go back to Diablo, owned by Xbox. They'll go to Halo, owned by Xbox. They'll go to Gears, owned by Xbox. They'll go to Forza, owned by Xbox. This is the Hail Mary. I mean, if this is the all blitz approach from Xbox to not only get their revenue back for what they spent on the ABK deal, then and if they could get that interception or stop that fourth down play and get the ball back, and then they'll be right there on the 40-yard line with 50 seconds left. 40-yard line on the opposite team's 40-yard line. Let's say 30-yard line. Hell, let's just go. Let's just make it even more interesting. Then, and they're only down by 3. They're only down by 3, or they're only down by 7. However you want to look at it. I don't know. I mean, is it too risky? I think it's too risky, but listen, I'm not here to make those decisions. I'm here just to play games and then just talk to you about what I feel. That's all I can do. Let me go ahead and read this from Jay Rempert right there. Thank you so much. He said, for the super chat, he said, people need to speak with their wallets and stop complaining about a company that's going to get more money anyway. Most Xbox fans don't like it, but what can we do? Absolutely right. There's nothing we can do about it unless you want to speak and say, I'm not going to support this game. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. If you do that, then, but see, this is the catch-22 on that. Then if Xbox is saying, well, look, Xbox can try to use this as a scapegoat. Like, look, you guys ain't supporting the games, which that's, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what, I know that the engagement for Hellblade 2 did well, but I don't think it sold well. And I mean, I wasn't ever thinking that Hellblade 2 was going to sell well just for the fact that it was a shorter game. It's one of those games that it's not boring by no stretch of the meaning, but it's one of those games that if it was more of a, I would say, of a 20-hour game, and had something, you know, had a couple of things more to it than just the kind of the deep story aspect of it and things like that on that end, then it might be something different. But then again, it's a 7-hour game, 7 to 10-hour game. It's not no 3-hour game unless you're playing that shit on the easiest difficulty and you watch people and you watched and learned how to do the puzzles, because just the puzzles alone is going to stump you for at least 15, 20, 30 minutes to an hour. Like, so again, that's gonna stomp you. Like, yeah, no, man, come on, man. When people were saying it was 3 hours long, they're full of shit. It is, you can speak with your wallet, but then they'll find a way out of it, right? Like they'll say, well, you're not getting the games and this is why we made this position. And then where do we go from there? We can sit here and we can say, look, we still fans of Xbox and we're not going to go anywhere. And yeah, we'll be taunted by the PlayStation community, that the PlayStation stands. I mean, at this point, and Xbox seems not to care, right? Like, I mean, that's just the reality of it. That's why I say, like, look, I mean, bow out of sitting here trying to be a promotional tool for them. If you're that disappointed, then stop being a promotional tool for them. If you feel that disappointed into whatever that their moves is when it comes to whatever this game is going to be, because like I said, I don't think it's going to be Forza. But stop being a tool for advertising for them. Because if you feel that way, I mean, me myself, it's not that serious. I don't like it, but you know what I'm saying? But again, I want Xbox to maintain and to stay. I don't want to go back to PlayStation. PlayStation is not offering me anything that I want anymore, except a few games, and then they're putting those games on PC. So that's all I need from PlayStation. I'm not a fan of their ecosystem. I'm not a fan of, I used to be, but I mean, after Xbox has just spoiled me, I'm not going back to that. I'm not. I don't want to. It's not because I hate PlayStation or anything. It's just that I don't want to go back to it. I like where I'm at. I like where I play my games at the most. And I mean, and vice versa for a PlayStation fan. But that's where we at. So I mean, I get where other people are saying, you know, but listen, if you were that disappointed in it, stop advertising for Xbox by having an Xbox channel talking about Xbox in a positive light. If you're that disappointed, what I don't like is that people are being pissed off and calling, you know, saying, calling Xbox names, calling people in the staff names and things like that. Listen, it's not that serious. I mean, I've been posting stuff about politics, and I've seen people just say the most foul shit to me because I have a different stance than what they do. And to me, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, and I'd still keep it civil regardless. I even had somebody that I knew sitting there threatening that they were going to come. They were going to come once Trump won. They were going to come and deal with me. And like I told him, brother, I play for keeps. Ain't nothing gonna disrespect me or mine. I don't give a damn if Trump wins or not. Well, I do care if Trump wins. I don't want him to win. But the point I'm in is that if he wins, ain't nobody been no back no fool with me because ain't nothing changed with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be affected by it. But regardless of that, ain't nobody going to threaten me like that. So again, it's I see enough of it in the politics space. We got to stop doing this in the gaming space. And maybe this is a part of where Xbox is like, man, this shit has gotten so foul. And like, again, it's got the console war stuff has gotten so stale. It's not even fun anymore. It used to be fun, talk a little shit, get through it, and just keep it moving. But now it's gotten so ridiculous. It is not even fun anymore. Hell, I'm even seeing J-Dub and saying this doesn't hit no more. Hell, this it's and you know, and PlayStation fans are sitting here looking at this like it's a victory, but is it? Because every time that you look at that top 10, there's an Xbox game in there. There's an Xbox game of some sort in there. And it's not multiple times. And then when you're looking at a PlayStation first party game, nowhere to be in sight. Maybe in the first month or two, or the first month or two. After that, it's gone. And it's usually not number one. It's usually like number two, number three, and then after that, it falls like a rock, goes to number 10, or it's out of there. So, Mike Johnson, you're absolutely right. And you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I will say that. I will say that. I will say that. I will say that. But you know what? But there's been a lot of PlayStation stands that's been acting like Trump supporters for a long time. So, but I mean, I will agree with you what you said on that. But thank you for the super chat. So yeah, what's cracking up with you, man? Let me go ahead and read a couple of more of these chats. My boy Yobi says, "Give me Spider-Man on Xbox. I'll buy it. I'll buy it third. Yeah. I'll buy Spider-Man for a third time. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's got to be some kind of trade-off, and that was something that was brought up. And I forget. I apologize. Who brought that up? Was it? Can't find it who it was. I think it was. Oh yeah, no, it was Tashawn. And he's right. Like, the game has changed, and this is the thing, right? For me, like, I've been saying that this game has changed, right? But this rumor has hit me. It's hit me because I've said this. Like when we did GRG, Sir X Man was really mad. They bad. I just let that, and I'm like, yo, I feel you, but man, if they're gonna put indie and this, okay, I don't like it, but I can accept it. But they should not put the games that are the staple of Xbox, and that is Gears, that is Halo, Gears, Forza, and then now Starfield. You should not. You shouldn't. And if they do this, if this rumor is true, then again, all bets are off and the game has changed, and damn it, it is over. It's over. Like, it's just over in that whole retrospect of the console war. The console war is already over. You know what I'm saying? I conceded back in 2018. I said it. Xbox is never going to catch PlayStation or Nintendo. The console race is done. Xbox will remain to be third, but like I've told people, and like I will keep saying this, and hopefully people will say, look, Mega was right about this, and maybe I'll get my flowers eventually one day on that, is that Microsoft will be the market leader. They will. Xbox will be the market leader because the strategy that they have, and if they continue to keep making consoles, let me bring this to you, let me put this bright spot to you. If Xbox continue to make consoles like Phil has alluded to and saying, look, we're not, and Sarah Bond has also alluded to as well, they will continue to keep making consoles. If they continue to make consoles, then it does not depreciate an Xbox fan. An Xbox fan, the Xbox is not depreciative. It does not make the Xbox less valuable at all. It doesn't. But it's like I said, I think this could be potentially the last Xbox, the new one that's coming. I think that potentially might be the last one. Because at that point, they're hitting that 10-year agreement with PlayStation. They're hitting that 10-year agreement with Ubisoft for the streaming, and they'll get that shit back, and they'll be like, look, man, technology has gotten to the point to where streaming is on point. There's no to very little lag, and everything is popping, right? Like, so again, that's why I feel like Xbox is like, look, man, we've done good with the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? We have a fan base, but we're going to be ecosystem Game Pass and streaming and the streaming thing. Because at that point, people will care, right? Like the kids will care. Us, and just think about that. Where we'll be at, right? Like 10 years from now, I'm going to be in my late 50s. You know what I'm saying? I have a birthday coming up here in on the 25th. So we like a week or so away. And so then I'll be 49. Hell, 10 years from now, I'll be 59. You think I'm gonna give a shit about any of that? If you're in your 20s, you'll be in your 30s. If you're in your 30s, you'll be in your 40s. If you're in your 40s, you'll be in your 50s. If you're in your 50s now, you'll be in your 60s. Are we really going to care like that at that point? There'll be so many things that's changed with technology and everything else in 10 years. It ain't going to matter. And like I said, I feel PlayStation is going to bow out too. I think Xbox will be the first ones to bow out, but the PlayStation is going to bow out too. PlayStation ain't going to sit there and keep spending money on making hardware, and then PlayStation is going to have to keep charging. Listen, the PC market has put consoles in a weird spot. Believe it or not, there's some people that's not going to agree with me on that, because there's always going to be a group of people that wants consoles, but that group of gamers are dwindling. Right? You know what I mean? Like, so, okay, case in point. I know this is funny. I'm just doing all type of metaphors. That means I'm wide awake. I'm being crazy. My wife would roll her eyes at me because I would do this type of shit all the time. Okay, that's just like the baby boomers, right? The generation before Generation X. Well, they like to eat gizzards and liver. How many Gen X likes to eat gizzards and liver? Now, there's some people that like a good gizzard. But how many like to eat liver? How many of us like to eat liver? I do not like it. That's why you don't see that as a delicacy in places like, if you see it somewhere on, in a restaurant somewhere, it's back of the menu. You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's a special place that sells liver, and that's a chain all over the country and all over the world. Gen Xers don't care about that. Damn sure millennials, damn sure as picky as those damn Gen Z, and then hell, the alpha, whatever. We don't even know what they're gonna like. I think that the alphas are gonna be the new hippies. I was telling my wife about that this morning. But anyway, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Look, the new revolutionists. But to me, this is where we are. We are the boomers of this gaming age. We, yes, care about our consoles, want our consoles, need our consoles. But at the point in the matter of but if it's not making enough money, when we're begging these companies to give us something that is going to hurt them at the end. And we still, as gamers, want to see Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo viable and as strong as ever, and to keep producing content for us. And I just think that over time, when our time is where we're not the most important buyers, they're just not going to listen to us anymore. They're going to listen to the market, and the market is already starting to choose. The PC, like I said, the PC, these PC, the AMD and NVIDIA and Intel's trying to do their best right now. They'll probably pick it up here, hopefully, maybe not. But AMD and NVIDIA has done something. Has done a job, because, and this is what's the mistake of us in 2013. when we start implementing and talking and starting letting these PC content creators and all these people start bringing in talking about resolution and frame rates and all that shit, right? We have implemented all types of PC lingo into our into the console space, right? Knowing that honestly, most console fans are graphic whores. But more and more, you start hearing more and more people talk about frame rates and resolutions and this and that. That's PC talk. And so and so console gamers get sounds like not all of us, right? Because I don't give a shit about it. Like, I mean, I got what I need. You know what I mean? To get what I want, right? But for those out there, they sound jealous sometimes. Well, if this game didn't hit 60, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to support it. It should be said. Well, I mean, you paid $500 for a console when people are paying six, seven, $800, $500 or more for one piece of hardware to build to add on to their PC. There's a huge difference. And if you don't have a gaming PC, you're going to have to spend over $1,000 to get that type of quality. Now, over time, you could probably get you probably get um a 4070 or 4080, 4090 or whatever the AMDs are um at a cheaper price, but by that time the consoles is going to keep up, but then the consoles has got to keep raising their prices. And I've always said that the consoles will be capped at 100 and like at $600. Like, I'm not capped, but I mean like the point where consumers will start looking at the industry crazy is when they're talking about $600 consoles or more. You probably say, well, Mega, there's people that's paid $2,000, $1,500 for an NVIDIA card. Didn't you pay $1,000 for it? Yes, I did. I paid $1,000. I got a good deal for my 4080, Super. I mean, not 4080 Super, but my 4080, whatever it was. But never mind. It's the 4080. It has it's has something where it whatever, but I have to get the box in the closet, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yes, I paid it that, and normally it was $1,400 for it, and then the prices was going up for it. Hell, when I went up there to when I was looking around trying to shop it, it was going up to $1,600. So to me, it's more of these things where I'm like, okay, hold up. This is a lot of damn money. So I came up and I found it, got it refurbished when this thing has been working, it's been shaking and baking, and they're having no problems with it ever since, right? And I'm proud and I'm happy for my purchase. But for console gamers that don't care about PC like that, what do you think that you're going to be paying for that next console that you want to be comparable? It's not going to be on the level of a 4090 or a 4080 or anything like that, but it's going to be comparable. It's going to give you what you want. You're going to have to pay for that. That's not this. That's why I'm interested in this PlayStation Pro. Whenever this PlayStation Pro comes out, if it's $700, bro, forget about it. And if the new consoles come out and they're $700, forget about it. Forget about it. How many? I mean, for us that listens, that absorbs this stuff, yes, we will be willing to risk it all and pay $700 for a console. But I mean, I'm going to be I'm going to be crying. You know what I'm saying? When I'm sitting there handing my card to the, you know what I'm saying, handing my card on my cash to the cashier, I mean, to the lady to get, to the lady or man or whoever to buy that console. I, I'm going to be like, damn, 500, you know what, I'm cool with that. But 700, 700, man, I'm looking at, I'm like, bro, that's half of a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? That's we're talking about, well, you know what I'm saying, our mortgage is higher than that. But you're just saying for most people that's high, that's half of a mortgage. That's a car payment. That's something that's extra groceries. If you got a large family, that's groceries for the month. What? And you talking about 700? Oh shit. But you get all the bells and whistles that you want. Only the crazy ones like us will go ahead and do it, but other consumers be like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that shit. I'm not doing that. So that's the thing to me is where the console is going to fade away because they got to keep raising the prices on them, and then when it comes out later and later, when the PC market is doing stuff, when the cell phones are doing up to par of what a Series S and a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 could do at that point, then people are going to start going all other different directions, and consoles is just going to be left out. Look, the PlayStation is already down in sales overall. It's not going to catch the PlayStation 4. It's just not. The Xbox doesn't look like it's going to. The Xbox Series S and X don't look like it's going to catch the Xbox One. It's just what it is. It's just reality. Our time is almost up. So if we get this console coming up, then enjoy it. If Xbox decides that they want to make another console after that, PlayStation decides to want to, fine, buy them. But the fact of it is that the sales are going to go decline, and what that does is that's going to hurt us on getting the content that we want. Now, maybe not for Xbox, because Xbox sees the writing on the wall, and they're saying, "Look, we'll just put our shit elsewhere, and just let PlayStation decide what they're going to do." Because, especially with live services, and if PlayStation goes back to doing their single player content, which is what a lot of PlayStation fans want, that's great and good, but that's only a one hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not all PlayStation single player games hit like that. And they're not going to be pumping. Then again, what? All right, guys, I'm back up. I'm sorry about that. Big Bad Mo said livers and onions is great, bro. You got an old soul. You got an old ass soul. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. I don't know anybody that knows that. Let's say my boy Yobi sit there in the chat. He says, you said since Phil took over and started making them changes, people call him a madman. They just started seeing the changes, and then Mega said, ready the Armada. Right, that's it. Like, bro, this is what's happening. Listen, Xbox strategy is very weird to me as well, but I understand it. I understand they're stepping ahead of what's coming. They have been. They fumbled with the Xbox One, and I don't know what the hell was going on that situation. Well, I know what was going on in the situation. There was people that didn't want the game to. There was people that didn't care about Xbox, and they wanted Xbox to be sent off or sold off or whatever. Phil Spencer cares about this. Sarah Bond cares about Matt Booty says that staff cares about Xbox. Don't get it twisted. And so when there's Xbox gamers out there that's upset that says that they don't care about Xbox gamers, that's a lie. They do. It's just that the game has changed. And listen, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, the ABK deal has made a benefit for PlayStation. It on the surface. Those different levels, those different layers, nah, man. This is something that's going to affect PlayStation in the long run if PlayStation keeps accepting Xbox games. Yeah, would that keep them? Will they make them have more sales or whatever the case may be? It might. Will you know what I'm saying? Will that keep potential PlayStation gamers from buying an Xbox? Now that part will be true, but it don't matter because Xbox is still going to get that money. They're still going to get that engagement. And then when they see and hear about Game Pass, then they might say, well, I ain't going to get an Xbox, but you know what? I'm you know what I'm saying? I got a PC, or I'm going to get a PC, or, you know, whatever. And then I'm going to do it's a part of the plan. It is weird to me. Yes, but I get it. I understand it. But I just don't think that Forza is going to be a game. There's going to be the game that's going to be announced. I think it might be Starfield or Hellblade 2. And like I said, my stomach will turn just because of the fact that I just don't want stands to be happy to use against ammo to use against us. But it's just the reality of what it is right now. So anyway, I'm now at the point to where I'm repeating myself, and so I don't want to do that. All right, guys. You said Big Bad Mo said Granny introduced me when I was no. Like my older family eats liver. Like my mother-in-law. She loves liver and onions. I mean, we was just talking about this yesterday. And so, that's cool, but that ain't for me. Now I love giblet gravy. Now I'm old school on that. I love me some giblet gravy on some mashed potatoes or some dressing. Not stovetop. No, not stovetop. No, I'm talking about real cooked dressing. You know what I'm saying? I love that. You know what I mean? I love me some giblet gravy. But no, I don't know. I can't rock with no liver. I can't do that. I can't do that. Let me read a couple of chats here before we get on out of here. Do appreciate it, guys. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, man, listen, I'm having a blast doing this, talking my own shit. Let me go ahead and before I do that, because I always forget, let me read this up here. And if you have not answered the poll, please do that as well. Pause. If you have not answered the poll, and I just said that, didn't I? So never mind. Yeah, just answer the poll and pause behind that. It says, do you feel Xbox will become a third party publisher? I got 46% saying yes. I got 22% saying no. I also have Xbox will still make consoles, which they wouldn't be a third party publisher because they would still be continuing to make that. There will be a hybrid of some sort. They wouldn't be fully all in of just being like a Sega per se or a Capcom or whatever. And so we have 32%. So yes, there's people that's out here that believes that Xbox is going to become a super thought and give it all up for a little bit of nothing, for a little bit of to get a little bit of strange, for a little bit of change. There's 22% less of hearts that's saying that Xbox. I'm one of the people too that's still saying that. I'm in the 32%, I should say. Xbox is still going to be making consoles, but Xbox is going to put out as many games as possible on other platforms, and I'm not a fan of it, but it is what it is. I don't have a say so in it. I can just only make this decision. So if you have not voted, please do. Voting is important. So yeah. So anyway, let me a couple of these comments here before we get out of here. PlayStation will never be in a bad spot compared to Xbox. I beg to differ. Case in point, Xbox doesn't need the Xbox has been in third place this whole time since they've made an Xbox. Xbox has made adjustments. Xbox, the closest they got was with the 360, God tier console. But did, what I'm saying, had the lead for the majority, and then at the end, PlayStation slightly got the overall lead. But 360 was a more beloved console than the PlayStation 3 by leaps and bounds. Nobody could ever say otherwise. The Xbox One was a great console. It just didn't have the software. In the beginning it did. In the first couple of years it did, but it just went on a stalemate, and then it just and then of course the media and how they projected things, and it just was just bad. And then, of course, the Series X and X, they're great consoles. Like, Xbox has not made a bad console at all. That's the thing. Like, the PlayStation 3 was an awful console. They had to change up. They had to change the console in order for it to be likable. That was a horrible console. I like the content on the PlayStation 3, the games that was on there. But but come on, man, really? People gonna say the PlayStation 3 was a no, it was not, in my opinion. But regardless. And PlayStation has all their ducks in a row with Sony has all their ducks in a row with PlayStation. We all know that. You know what I mean? Like, the reality is that they have that Sony knows this, and we know this, and the fans know this. If PlayStation would ever to be in make the same sales numbers as Xbox, they're cooked. They are cooked. So they're already not generating enough sales when it comes to their first party titles compared to what they did. Now, God of War is an exception, and Spider-Man 2 is the exception. Everything else has been down. Oh, and when I guess Miles Morales, but Miles Morales was also on. Miles Morales was left. So Miles Morales, God of War, Ragnarok, and Spider-Man 2. Those two are the exception. Everything else has been down. Everything else. Now, if when they eventually come out with The Last of Us 2, that's going to sell like hotcakes. But that's so far in between. Like, Ronin didn't do well. Like, when you're bragging, see, this is the thing where people don't tend to grasp, right? When PlayStation fans is over here bragging about Ragnarok selling 15, 20 million copies, and then on the flip side talking about um, uh, Final Fantasy 16 or Ronin selling over a million, or oh, her thickness and yams. What's her name? Stellar Blade is over a million, 2 million sold. I mean, what are you talking about? Why are you even telling me that? That's trifling compared to you just talking about Spider-Man and talking about, well, that's different. No, it's not. You still have the same amount of people that's on these consoles. So that obviously that game didn't resonate, or PlayStation fans just didn't give a shit about it. Well, again, that's the same thing. They didn't resonate, or you know, or and that those companies made a mistake not making those games multi-plat. I mean, it's just that simple. And then locking those games to where they can't go to PC. And then when they go to PC, they'll get a bump, but they're not going to get the bump that they would get when and I had this discussion with Mooch when Mooch was like, "Oh, they'll make more money if they hold it and then they release it." Maybe PlayStation's heavy hitters, but not a Stellar Blade. You know what I mean? Like, the case in point that squashes all of that theory is Helldivers 2. If Helldivers 2 was held back, I don't think it would have sold the same way that it did when it was released day one, because it wouldn't have had the same amount of users, and then it probably wouldn't have got the same type of attraction, because the game would have sold decent, but it wouldn't sold like that, and then you would have probably had issues. And then once the PlayStation did that crazy shit of saying, well, we're going to go ahead and alienate a whole community of people, because we want to get that engagement, because you got to sign in the PSN, then people wouldn't have bought it anyway. See, people already bought the game, and then they got duped, and then they just got lost, and then they're lost, right? So, yeah, no, that just squashed all that. I just think personally, overall, yes, Xbox has put themselves in some weird situations. This is another weird situation, but I think this will benefit them at the end, because this is what it's all about: is making the money, making the engagement, all of that. Again, I don't like it. I don't want to see Forza. I don't want to see I don't think Forza's going to go. I don't want to see Starfield. I don't want these games to go over there to PlayStation. I just don't want to. I just don't want them to. But I understand that if they bring them over there, PlayStation fans is going to play them. And then while PlayStation is trying to find their footing in the live service game department, Xbox has already got that, already win in that department. And now you over here in PlayStation's playhouse, and they're over here playing Xbox games on PlayStation. PlayStation is cooked on the live service games, except for maybe if you do a siphon filter, if Twisted Metal hits, everything is riding on Marathon. I said that last week when I did my thoughts. Everything is riding on Marathon. If Marathon don't hit, PlayStation's going to, well, Bungie is cooked as it is, but I don't know, man. I don't know. They might have to do another pivot, but I don't know. That's another discussion for another day. I really do appreciate you guys checking me out. Thank you so much. I came out this morning, and I was thinking about violence. You know what I'm saying? I had to give Xbox a little bit of work, but then still try to do the bitter and the sweet. And then of course, I can't help myself but to throw a little slander at the PlayStation stand community. Just what I do. Anyway, let me read these right fast and then get on out of here. It says it's going to be a roadmap where all Xbox games is coming to PlayStation. PlayStation 3 was an excellent console. It had excellent content. And not at first, but then towards the middle end, oh man, once it started picking up its stride, yeah, it had great content. I mean, the PlayStation 3 is not a awful console like a Jaguar 16 or something like that, but you know what I'm saying, like the Jaguar, but out of the PlayStations that's come out, it's the worst PlayStation. And to me, the most disappointing generation is the PlayStation 5 generation. And I know that there's people that'll try to tell me that, but I don't know. That's probably something that I'll have to do in my thoughts. Have a discussion about which is the worst generation for PlayStation, and then of course have what is the worst Nintendo and worst. And I think we all know what's the worst generation for Nintendo, but just to have that discussion, and for Xbox. And I think that'll be a pretty good discussion. But anyway, guys, I thank you so much. I will be doing Fight Night tonight, so come and check me out. Damn, my coffee got cold. Um, and so it's got to make me some new coffee. And I will I probably just jump on some Tekken. You know what I'm saying? Just to get back into the to groove of things. I only played with Lydia once. And like I said, I've been lost into nothing but college football and the Last Descent. I'm almost I'm about maybe 50. I'm about 20 levels away from getting the battle pass, from getting the battle pass completed. So that's why I'm back on my on there, because I only got like 13 days left before the battle pass ends. So I want to make sure that I get that in the first descent. And then also I'm waiting for to start the season so I can start streaming college football, because my homeboy is a monster, is a maniac, because he wants to play on Heisman. I'm like, what? Oh my God. So anyway, so I had to practice a little bit on that. And then when I told everybody that I picked OSU, Oklahoma State Cowboys, because some sorry sucker, one of my high school college friends, whatever, sit there and got OU just because they knew that I'm an OU fan, you know, Boomer Sooner, and they knew that I was about to start cooking because I was practicing with OU, getting ready for this this dynasty mode, and they went ahead and picked them before we even set the teams out. Like it was savage. So anyway, so I said, well, I'll pick with OSU. But see, they seen me playing with OSU. I'm already like 3 seasons in with OSU. So I got the playbook down. I got everything down. And somebody came up there and said, no, I already picked them. You're a liar, but that's okay. So now I will be playing with the Miami Hurricanes. I did have a choice between Penn State and Notre Dame, but I kind of like the development aspect of it. So I wanna, you know, so anyway, I'm gonna be playing with the but regardless, we're just gonna have to do what we gotta do, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to the alum for the Miami Hurricanes. That's who I'm gonna be rocking with. So that sucks. Anyway, but thank you guys so much, man. I hope you guys will subscribe, check out the stuff, and then I also will be dropping the last couple of videos for Hellblade 2 today as well. So hope you guys have a good one. Let's end these votes. Let's see where they're at. Yeah, this is bad business. This is bad business right here. Y'all foul for that. Do you feel Xbox will become a third-party publisher? 45% said yes. Xbox, and my other question was, will Xbox still make consoles? 31% said that. It dropped. It was at 32%. It's at 31%. And then will Xbox become a third-party publisher? And there's 22% that says no. This is not a good look. This is not a good look. Rain, it's Boomer Sooner always. I don't care. Yeah, of course, there's some sorry dogs that picked those Bulldogs and picked Alabama and picked all Texas and all the, you know, listen. Them Canes is coming. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready. I gotta be ready. But anyway, hope you guys have a good one. We out. See y'all in the next video. Peace. Oh, let me hit the right button.